When economists refer to inflation today, they are primarily referring to price inflation, a general increase in the level of prices of goods and services. However, historically, the term often referred to monetary inflation, which is an increase in the money supply. While these two concepts are closely related, and monetary inflation often leads to price inflation, they aren't exactly the same thing. Today, we focus on measuring the cost of living. It is generally true that if the money supply grows faster than the total real productivity of the economy, it will increase the level of prices. The money supply isn't just printed cash, it includes lending and transactions. If this supply of money grows significantly larger while productivity remains constant, the result is almost always that prices go up. However, especially in the short term, inflation can be caused by supply shocks. A classic example is a shortage of oil. When a critical resource like oil becomes scarce, its price shoots up. Because oil and gasoline are inputs for transportation, this affects the price of everything, even a banana. The cost to ship that banana on a truck rises, and that cost is passed on to you. Everything is connected. Economists generally agree that a little bit of inflation is actually a good thing, typically targeting around 1, 2, or 3% per year. Anything significantly higher is dangerous because it can snowball into hyperinflation. On the other hand, economists are also afraid of deflation, negative inflation, which is viewed as scary because it can stall economic growth. In the United States, inflation is commonly measured using the CPI, or Consumer Price Index. The headline number you hear in the news is usually the CPI-U, where the U stands for urban consumers. Since the majority of the U.S. population lives in urban cities, this index best reflects the impact on the average person's pocketbook. To calculate this, economists use a basket of goods from a base year, year zero. Let's look at a ridiculously simple model where our consumers only buy two things. In our base year, they spend 60% of their money on apples and 40% on bananas. We set the base index for both items at 100 to start. Now, let's move to the current year to see how prices have changed. Suppose the price of apples has gone up by 50%, raising their index to 150. Meanwhile, bananas have become much more expensive, rising 80% to an index of 180. The question is, how do we measure the total inflation for the entire basket? We calculate the weighted average based on how much we spend on each item. We take 60%, or 0.6, of the new apple index, 150, and add it to 40%, or 0.4, of the new banana index, 180. Mathematically, 0.6 times 150 gives us 90, and 0.4 times 180 gives us 72. We then sum these up. 90 plus 72 equals 162. Our final CPI result is 162. Since our base year index started at 100, an index of 162 means we have experienced a total of 62% inflation for this basket of goods. In the real world, the basket is much more complex, but this logic helps us understand how the cost of living is measured.